Hello, welcome back to Showbiz Entertainment, and I am your reviewer. And I'm going to be analyzing the film Godzilla 2014, the one directed by Gareth Edwards, and also, of course, the upcoming sequel was actually two more sequels in the Legendary Pictures trilogy. It's going to be a trilogy, so um, to Godzilla 2018 will be Godzilla 2, whatever it is. But anyways, um, starting off, Godzilla 2014. This movie was very highly anticipated by yours truly. The last time we had seen a Godzilla movie was Godzilla Final Wars, the final movie by legendary film company Toho, and we got ourselves a pretty awesome film. I mean, the movie itself was, of course, every Godzilla movie has always been criticized because this franchise hasn't always been the subject of the best movies of all time or anything like that. But to us, we love it. We grew up with. I grew up watching it, like a lot of you have. And of course, this movie, Godzilla 2014, which featured Aaron Taylor Johnson, Ken Watanabe, Elizabeth Olsen, and Bryan Cranston, was. I want to talk about this film, and then we'll get into the other stuff. This film was a budget of $160 million. You believe that? For a Godzilla movie, we'll believe it. And in the box office, it reached 528.7 million. And this is worldwide. This is like unheard of in a Godzilla movie. So this movie talks about Godzilla being an apex predator. When he senses any kind of prey, that any kind of other creature, and he goes after him. Basically, that's what an apex predator does. In this movie, we meet a new type of kaiju on this movie. We meet a mysterious kaiju that clues you in. Okay, this is going to be a Godzilla is going to fight another kaiju on this movie. But this movie gets to a pretty good start with Bryan Cranston in the beginning. You see his wife dying, and when a power plant factory or whatever you want to call it gets destroyed in the beginning, so she ends up dying because, of course, the radiation. And he's kind of like he wants to know what happened. He wants to find out. He wants to solve the mystery that killed his wife. And he says, "You guys are hiding something. Something happened there." You know. I don't know if that's not my Bryan Cranston impression or anything like that, but that's pretty much how pissed off he was on the movie. So he wants to find out what happened, like he says, "You guys are hiding something," and he wants to know what happened. So we get to this movie, we get to see, we start to find out, wait, okay, there's some kind of cover up by Japan on this movie. So we see he finds a very isolated part of Japan, and in it is a special team of scientists. Pun intended, because how many times have you seen scientists studying something on a Godzilla movie over the years, right? But anyways, we see like some kind of larva stage Muto in the beginning. This strange creature known as Muto, and of course the male Muto, which has wings, comes out of the larva and then ends up killing Bryan Cranston in the film, and Aaron Taylor Johnson is just kind of like a anyway. So he's a soldier. He plays a soldier on this movie, and he's kind of like like a lot of soldiers. Supposedly, they have no emotions at all. They're very sober-minded. They're very just they're like robots, basically. Thinking like RoboCop. Never mind, no, not RoboCop, but that's basically what Aaron Taylor Johnson brought to the table in this movie, and in my estimation, as a movie fan, and I've become a reviewer here and YouTube, is he. It was very dry the way he acted. He was very like emotionless, especially when he got his. Anyways, Mary Elizabeth Olsen comes on this movie. When I heard the word Olsen, I kind of thought Full House. The Olsen twins, that annoying TV show from the '80s, and I was, oh no. I mean, it's Elizabeth Olsen. I'm sorry, but I thought about, okay, this is not going to go too well, is it? But actually, she wasn't too bad on this movie either. She plays the wife of course, the soldier in this movie, and she she kind of finds herself trying to get away from the incoming disasters. All she could do is that, because it really. I mean, if you see two giant monsters headed towards the city, and they're gonna start fighting, you probably want to run too. But Aaron Taylor Johnson's character as Ford Brody. Okay, this guy, he's kind of, like I said, he's very sober-minded. He's not very. He realizes what's going on around him, but he generates very little emotion in this movie. Elizabeth Olsen, her character is a little bit more dead on, just a little bit more emotion to it, because she's, like I said, she's basically trying to run from the incoming disaster. Just think of the movie 2012, but with giant monsters in it. So, but as far as I'm concerned, this movie had a good start with Bryan Cranston in the beginning. I mean, he's a very powerful actor, Mr. Breaking Bad, and but after he dies, it kind of leaves a person wondering what happened to the rest of the movie. Okay, because for a movie like this, I don't care if Godzilla movies have been criticized from the very beginning. It really doesn't matter what people have said about these movies before, because especially the opening weekend with the 93.2 million at the box office in the first weekend, that's nothing to talk bad about, to talk garbage about. I mean, this is a Godzilla movie, so this, and then we kind of get the idea. Okay, Godzilla was going to be on this movie, but what we don't see is Godzilla on this movie. There's a lot less Godzilla and more Muto on this movie, and we're left wondering what's going on here. This is like we're trying to get into this movie. Overall, this movie's good. It's just it spends too much time trying to get trying to figure out, okay, what's going on, and it's more about the Mutos. And then when Godzilla does finally appear in that iconic airport scene, it's totally awesome. I mean, if you see the size of this thing, if you imagine a 350-foot giant dinosaur like that in an airport, it's actually spine chilling. And when you finally do see him, it's awesome. Okay, but it's kind of like, and then he engages with the Muto, but you don't really see him. It's kind of like a movie, like it. Just say if I put my hand over my face a little bit, or kind of like a teaser film, it becomes you get a teaser film, because you don't actually see them fighting at the airport. You just see the Godzilla making his awesome appearance for the first time in the movie. And what is it, like 30, 45 minutes into the film? And after that, all you see is just kind of like the aftermath of an earthquake happening in the city, and you don't see Godzilla again to maybe like the fourth act or something like that. And you see what you see a lot of this movie is the Mutos. Okay, actually let me before and then at the end of the movie, Godzilla does engage with the Mutos in a battle for supremacy. He's an apex predator on this movie, so he totally kicks some serious, you know what. And I mean, I love especially the scene where he finally unleashes his radiation breath. That was totally awesome, man. It was worth the wait. I mean, a lot of people, like I said, at the end of the movie, he kind of wakes up, he takes off, and he's kind of like a hero again, like in the old late 60s film, the 1970s film, where he's a superhero on those movies. And I and he takes off, you know, and the movie's over. Um, this movie could have been better, but I think I kind of think the way Gareth Edwards did it was not the best, but when we do finally see Godzilla in this movie, it's a great film. Overall, it's a great film, and it clocks in just around 2 hours. And you think they could have probably put a little bit more into it, but with putting Godzilla into this, having a gigantic fight with the Mutos, because the female Muto is a little bit bigger, and when he does fight, it's awesome. And Bryan Cranston kind of gets he's kind of like he and Ken Watanabe, of course, who plays Professor Tanaka or Yamani or something like that. I'm sorry, I forgot about the professor's name, but Ken Watanabe's character, he says he you want to. His character is interesting. His character has a lot of depth in it, but he's kind of just like in the background. I'm not talking about a WWE wrestling commentary kind of thing. I'm talking about this film. He's kind of just like in the background. He kind of plays a background player, and he doesn't really get enough time to shine in this movie. And his character could have been. He could have been a really good addition to this film, but of course, legendary Gareth Edwards being Gareth Edwards, he had this movie had a lot of writers on it, so a lot of people kind of tinkered with this movie too much, and that's why we got a teaser Godzilla movie. But I still love this movie. I really enjoyed it. I thought I give this movie an 8 out of 7 rating. Because this movie, like I said, it was a good movie, but it was more like a teaser film. And okay, I want to get into the next Godzilla movie, which will be released in June 18th of 2018. Well, if we live that long, we might actually see it. No, I'm just kidding. This movie, it's no surprise. You guys probably seen it all over the internet that it's a remake. It's going to be a remake of the classic 1964 Ghidorah or Ghidorah, the three-headed monster, released by Toho in the early 60s, and which featured, of course, the iconic, probably the most powerful villain in the Godzilla series, which is King Ghidorah, and then with Rodan and Mothra in tow. Okay, this what I know so far, Gareth Edwards is the reason we're gonna have to wait till 2018 for the next two films of Legendary Pictures Godzilla is because Gareth Edwards is doing Star Wars, and because you know how big that franchise is. That franchise is just huge. Okay, bigger than Godzilla, but I love Godzilla no matter what, nonetheless, and that's why we have to wait. Okay, there was talk in the beginning of the next sequel of Godzilla that it was going to be a remake of the 1969 classic, probably one of the best films in the series, Destroy All Monsters. But that looks like we might have to wait for the third and last of the Gareth Edwards trilogy sequels to see that movie. And there was talk that there was going to be big movie actors in this movie. If I got to see Tom Cruise in this movie playing the lead character, I would be, oh my God. But he would fit so well in these movies. But anyways, that's what I know so far, that Godzilla, King Ghidorah, and Rodan are going to make their appearance. And of course, they're going to be slightly changed. And then we might see a lot of people, especially Japan, they complained that Godzilla was a little bit too fat. But so there's talk of maybe slimming him down a little bit. So there's going to be a different look. Honestly, I love the new Godzilla. I think he looks not fat. He looks just straight. Just think of the wrestler of the Big Show, like just brawny and huge and just massive. Godzilla has always been a behemoth. People don't remember that. It's ever since the 1954 classic Godzilla King of Monsters or Gojira in Japan, respectively, Godzilla has always been big. He's a behemoth. He's got muscles. He's got a massive sumo wrestler looking legs, and He's a giant. What do you expect? And you're not going to see an Arnold Schwarzenegger Godzilla here. You're going to see what we grew up watching, and that was Japan's. And that's probably the reason Toho released a new Godzilla movie. I'll be analyzing that also here in 2000 the next year for 2016. But Godzilla's look will probably be changed slightly. Like I said, I love the new Godzilla. I think it looked making him larger, bigger was a great idea. Because what would it be like if Godzilla was bigger? It would be way more awesome, wouldn't it? And of course, all the other monsters are going to receive probably slight changes. I got some pictures they're going to be posted for the new film. So if you guys want to check them out, and you know, you guys probably seen a lot of these, but this is like I said, this is my what I think. My predictions for this movie is going to be a whole lot bigger, a whole lot better, and we're probably going to see a lot better actors on this movie. And you know, you're going to see we're going to see Ken Watanabe reprise his character from the last movie. Probably get a lot more screen time on this movie. And you know, after almost 70 years of Godzilla, we have all these Godzilla movies to look forward to. And hopefully it'll launch a new interest in kaiju films, because recently I just saw that just saw a new kaiju film released by Toho recently. And anyways, I'll probably be reviewing in the future. All right, if you guys have any questions of what you thought about lately about my channel, please subscribe to my channel. Everybody who's been subscribing to my channel, I thank you from the bottom of my heart. You guys mean a lot to me. You know, please communicate with me. Send me an email. It's mouthfulwar2013@gmail.com if you want to drop me a line or something. Maybe you got some criticism about the way I do things here right now, because you know it's very limited, but I do my best for you guys. You guys are my subscribers. You guys matter. And all right, I will be talking about the new 2016 Godzilla film and try to analyze it also. But like I said, this we got us a lot to look forward, because the next 5 or 6 years it's gonna rock. All right, you guys. This is Showbiz Entertainment, and I am still your